Welcome back to Transitions. Today we are discussing food. In our last segment, we discussed some strategies on how to make better decisions in the grocery store, as well as other interesting facts about food. Right now, we want to learn more about the health risks associated with poor food choices. Larissa Sawchuk from the Canadian Diabetes Association fills us in on what to look out for. You are a person who is quite knowledgeable about diabetes, and I'm really interested in hearing from you because I hear type 1, type 2, and I think there are a lot of people out there who probably find too that they get a little confused about those two and what kind of transitions they may have to make. So can you tell me a little bit about, and tell us, our viewers are interested in hearing from you?
Yeah, so there's actually 3 types of diabetes, and there are definitely some misconceptions about the different types. So the first type of diabetes is called type 1 diabetes, and so that's sometimes referred to as juvenile diabetes. So people who have type 1 diabetes are usually diagnosed when they're children or young adults. It's a non-preventable type of diabetes, and what happens with that is the body stops producing insulin. So people who have type 1 diabetes will have to take insulin injections for the rest of their lives.
Wow. Yeah.
And so the second type of diabetes is called type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is about 90% of all cases of diabetes, and type 2 diabetes is preventable. So it's normally diagnosed a little bit later on in life, and there's a lot of lifestyle changes that people can make before they get to type 2 diabetes to prevent that transition. So type 2 diabetes will actually start as pre-diabetes. So what happens with pre-diabetes is the blood sugar levels within the individual will be a bit higher than a normal individual, but not yet at the level for type 2 diabetes. So at that point, that's really when people can take control of their health and prevent themselves from being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And then the third type of diabetes is gestational diabetes. So that's diagnosed when women are pregnant. And so they'll be gestational diabetes for the length of their pregnancy. And then after that, they might be at higher risk for type 2 diabetes later on in their lives.
Is the baby at risk too, or when people are diagnosed with gestational diabetes?
Yep, so there's some risk to the baby, and of course diabetes runs in families, so the baby will also be at higher risk for getting type 2 diabetes within their life as well.
Within their life?
Yeah, so doctors are primarily the people who will diagnose you with diabetes, and then from there you might go on to see something called a certified diabetes educator. So that's a healthcare professional who has a little bit more experience with diabetes and is certified, and they come in like pharmacists, dietitians, just a wide variety of different types of healthcare professionals. And we partner with a lot of them to run some of our programs. So we have programs such as our Expo, so that this year is actually focused on healthy eating, and that's a free event for people that we do annually. We also do, on our website, we have a really great webinar series. So those are presentations that are recorded and available online.
Yeah.
So we talk about all different topics of diabetes self-management, and I found them quite interesting even for myself.
So again, if people are looking at maybe getting screened or so on, is that back to your physician as well? And are some people more at risk? Because I understand that people in my racial grouping also experience quite a lot of, like a higher incidence of diabetes. And
yeah, so for type 2 diabetes, which is preventable, there are definitely some differences in risk factors for people. So there's some things that people don't have any control over, so that would be their age, so older people are at higher risk. Ethnicity, so Aboriginal, African Caribbean, as well as the Asian populations are at higher risk for diabetes. And as well family history, so it really runs within families, so if you know that someone in your family has diabetes, you're also at higher risk. And then there are the things that you can do to prevent diabetes.
Yeah.
So people who are overweight, especially carrying a lot of weight specifically in their midsection, they're at higher risk. If you don't exercise, you're at higher risk. Higher level of cholesterol or blood pressure. It's very interrelated to a lot of other health concerns as well.
So there are a lot of transitions that we really should be making then to try to sort of maybe avoid a diagnosis maybe later in life, eh?
Yeah.
And I understand too that it can be very silent, like where you really don't know, like maybe there are some symptoms, but you might ignore them. Are there any symptoms that maybe you shouldn't be ignoring? And
so there's a number of symptoms, and you're right, a lot of times with type 2 diabetes, because it's more stepwise, people won't realize the symptoms. But some of the symptoms could include extreme thirst, going to the washroom more, having blurred vision, cuts and bruises or infections that are slower to heal, tingling and loss of feeling in hands and feet. So there's a number of different things that you might come across. But the best way to really find out is to have your doctor test your A1C levels.
A1C as in?
So A1C is an average of your blood sugar levels over the past 3 months.
I see.
So it'll be a percentage value, and then it'll be a diagnosis of kind of where you are in the diabetes spectrum, or if you're diabetic or not. Yeah, our website is a really great place to find a lot of information. Our Facebook page for Manitoba is also a great option, or if you call our office, we actually provide community presentations. So if you have a community group where you'd like a presentation, that's something that we come out and facilitate as well.
That's wonderful. So thank you so much for coming in today. I really, really have learned a lot, and I really appreciate you sharing with our viewers. I'm sure a lot of them are going to take you up on some of the suggestions that you've made today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Antoinette.
Food is one means to transition to a healthier lifestyle. The messages and opinions surrounding food can impact us in many ways. Dale Irving, our first guest on the show today, also is an example of how society has changed, whereby boys and men are able and willing to participate in food preparation for their families. We hope that friends and family members will respect our choices to be more involved in food preparation, regardless of our age or gender. It is up to us to make choices and to follow through by being responsible so that we can be helpful to our families. We are left with some practical tips from a registered dietitian, Whitney Harms. You can visit her website for more information. As well, the Canadian Diabetes Association website is another great resource that you can visit to learn more about diabetes, to volunteer, or donate items to help others. Thanks for watching Transitions today. Please visit our website to comment or to find out more about how you could participate in this show.